Yeah, I mean, there's a big rivalry between Manchester United and Manchester City. And people from Manchester really like Manchester City because they feel like it's more of a, a people's team, whereas Manchester United is more popular around the world and maybe in other countries. So Manchester United is seen as kind of, a bit more of a richer team that isn't necessarily so English. But now recently, one of your football players is in Manchester. Is that right? Mario? No, Maria? Maria? There we go. He's moving over. Is that right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Mario Maria?
Mario Bros?
Luigi?
No, but I know what it is. How do you know about Tomorrowland? I'm into it. It looks really cool. I saw the Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people here can play it too. It's like an electro party a lot of days with a lot of DJs, a lot of lights, and a lot of drugs, and a lot of
A lot of everything.
Yeah.
And you can join the other parties through the internet.
Vos te notas y o sea, you have to introduce your name, your age, you have to be more than 18 years old, and pay the tickets for the plane because it's in Europe, but in 2050, the next year will be in Brazil.
It's a movie party.
Yeah. It will be the first time in America, the continent, and we'll be in Brazil, and I don't know if I will go, but it will be so cool if we go.
Wow. Yeah, no, I haven't been, but it looks very cool. Yeah.
Would you like to be there?
Yeah. I went to something not quite the same, but a bit similar called Park Ride, which is again kind of a music festival near Manchester. There's kind of a lot of electronic music, and people come together. It's in the summer, so it's normally quite nice weather. So yeah, but people have heard a lot about kind of festivals around Europe and the UK here in Argentina, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't realise that it was so. Did you see it on YouTube? Is that how?
Yeah.
Is there anything similar here in Argentina? Cream fields. You have cream fields?
Yes.
Nice, yeah. Green fields, yeah. It's, I feel like green
Do you find any differences between young people here in Argentina and in other countries?
Yes and no. I think maybe young people in the UK are kind of encouraged to be independent a lot sooner, because I think that family in the UK is something a bit different. I think here family ties are very strong and very important, and from a young age people are always with their family. Whereas in the UK, it's kind of, people are with their friends a bit more, and as soon as they're 16, most people get a part-time job in shops or restaurants, so then they kind of have a bit more money, so they're a bit freer to kind of, and by the time you're 18, it's kind of expected that you should leave home, whether you go to university, or you move in with your friends, or you don't really live with your parents. And definitely kind of by the age of maybe 23, 24, if someone is still living with their parents, a bit weird.
everything she said is the same.
Whereas here, I feel like family is a lot more, people live with their family forever, or maybe not going to get married or until they want to. Would you agree with that? I mean, that's the impression I have. But so it's different in that respect. Young people maybe in the UK have a bit more money because they have jobs and they're off doing things. Normally at 17 people learn to drive and maybe they save up for a car and then they can get away from their parents and go to music festivals and things like that.
So here they go to music festivals, that they live with their parents.
Yeah, I mean, people do live, at 16, people live with their parents. But I know that if you fall out with your parents really badly, then you can apply for free housing. So sometimes people do that. If they really don't get on with their parents, they can, there is options to move out and live alone, because kind of around the age of 18, it's kind of seen as right, now you're an adult, go and do your thing, why are you still with your mum and dad, like that.
In the States, you have the same policy?
No, I've never heard of applying for housing if you don't get along with your parents. I think if you don't get along with your parents, either you can leave, but you have to figure out your own situation. You have to be able to pay for it, or go and live with a friend and her family or his family.
I mean,
free housing, I don't think.
Maybe not get along with is the right word. I mean, there would have to be a serious problem where you were basically going to live on the street otherwise. It's not so much like you have one fight with your dad and I have my own house now. No, it's not quite like that, but yeah, it is an option. People have done it.
In the US, it's legal buy or rent a house with 15 years old.
No, I don't think no.
With 16 years.
No, I don't think
Dejo de grabar.
in order to buy a house or rent a house,